Hi, everybody. Welcome, everybody. Hi. Thank you so much, everybody, for being part of our community today. It's going to be an exciting one, folks. Thank you all. Thank you all. Let's go. Let's go. This will be fun. Thank you, everybody. Thank you all for joining. Thank you, everybody. Let's give everybody else another 2 minutes and we get started. Let's go, people. Thank you, everybody. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, everybody. Let's give everybody else another few minutes and we will get started. And with us today, we have Stan. He has an amazing interview. So we just want to get ready and put our best foot out there as we prepare for the interview. So let's go, people. Thank you all for joining. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody. We'll just give everybody else 1 more minute and we will get started, folks. This is going to be another exciting session. Let's just have fun together, folks. This will be awesome, folks. Let's go. Thank you, everybody, for making it. This is going to be a fun session. Let's go. 30 seconds. All right. All right. Thank you so much for making it, everybody. This is an exciting session again. With us today, we have one of our mentors also on the call. Stan, he has an upcoming interview, and we just want to do our due diligence. That's all we can do. Nothing is guaranteed, we get it, but at the end of the day, we will put our best foot in good faith and try and maximize this opportunity. It's an IT audit role, and the intent is to just get our folks ready and prepare and brainstorm and give some of our recommendation on what we think we should focus on in this interview. So let me bring up also Stanley and let's just chat real quick. Hey, Stan, thanks for joining on a short notice. So, Stan, I took a look at the interview, the job function, and I thought it was something that was within your strength and wheelhouse. So, just want to can you introduce yourself real quick before we jump into the details? And I know you're at the Starbucks. Okay, let me unmute you.
Yes, thank you very much. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
All right, thank you very much for last minute invite. I know it was impromptu, and I appreciate you taking that time to just do this with me.
No worries, no worries,
Well,
anytime.
my name is Stanley Arrow. So I've been an IT auditor for over say 7 years. In that time, I've executed IT controls, testing across multiple applications and system environment. So most of my work is done as a part of a team,
Okay,
though there have been numerous occasions where I was an individual contributor working on a team. So I received assignments ranging from planning and audit engagement through performing walkthroughs with process owners or control owners,
okay.
all the way to testing and drafting audit reports.
Got it. So, Stanley, what would you say is your biggest accomplishment as an IT auditor in general? What would that be for you?
My biggest accomplishment so far would be that over the years, this the role as an IT auditor has helped me evolve. So I've been able to work with different individuals from different various backgrounds, and also have the opportunity to work with different stakeholders at different
Okay.
industries. In the banking in the banking sector, in the retail. So one of the achievements is that it has helped me really revolve as with new technology. As an IT auditor, you have to be very open-minded because there's new technology coming up every day, and you need to know how to audit this technology
Can you
in
give me example of some of the emerging technology you've seen out there, you've worked on, and give me some ideas of some of those new emerging technologies?
Yeah, the new emerging technology. I will start with 10 years ago. SAP was a big enterprise resource planning tool. So all the companies were implementing SAP GRC, SAP security, and now you have companies now moving to cloud, and you have the opportunity to audit their cloud environment and the different applications that run on the cloud environment, all the way
Got it.
to even machine learning and artificial intelligence. As an IT auditor, you have to be able to audit these different technology, identifying risk in all these different technologies.
Got it. Got it. All right. Thank you so much. So tell me, in terms of your planning phase, Stanley, walk me
Hmm.
through a typical planning exercise to implement an audit from your experience.
Well, I would say that from a planning, the most successful audit projects are those in which the audit client or the internal audit have a well constructive working relationship. So a typical audit would comprise of first stage, your planning, your field work, your reporting, and your follow up.
Okay.
So
Got it.
during the planning phase, we notify you or you notify the business unit that is being audited through an announcement letter.
Okay.
An auditor will contact, as an IT auditor, you will draft an announcement letter and you set up an audit planning meeting. The purpose of the meeting is to kind of discuss the audit process with the unit that is being audited, and then
Okay.
review the scope and objective of the audit, discuss any concerns or suggestions, and then go over the scope of the audit. So which systems are in scope and which systems are going to be out of scope, and then you
Got it.
discuss any inherent risk that is the unit is dealing with. You know, that's just an overview of the planning phase of an
Got it.
audit.
Okay, so Stanley, thank you. I'm going to mute you for now just because there's so much noise, but I'll go through the specific role, tell you my feedback. And like I told you, this is our community session. So I would like the larger community at the end of the day. I want them to give you aya or, well, I hate to say aya or no aya. Okay. So we're going to put you on the spotlight and say, are we going to aya Stanley or we tell him, hey, Stanley, go do some extra work? And it's a respectful process, folks. The idea is to give our folks meaningful feedback. They can, we're bringing you to the lions den. All right, Stanley, I'm sorry. But the point is that we'll just say, hey, this is what we think. And feel free, ladies and gentlemen, please feel free, chat, whatever you think, and feel, hey, Stanley, maybe your communication style, you should add this. It's just a way to help our team to be much more successful. That's the goal. But I'll tell you my own take. I know Stanley personally has been a good friend for many years, and I'll tell you, you are very eloquent. You know what you're doing. You know the process, the step. I like the fact you told me about emerging technology. You told me about AI, machine learning, cloud computing. I challenge you to add things like 5G, operation technology. These are new things. IoT. These are common things that are new recently. We have robotic. Those are things that everybody is really worried about. Then, more importantly, people are thinking about the framework, the kind of audit process to do this. So, do we customize it? It's not popular within other group like ISACA. So, these are things that are big concerns for a lot of organizations today. But let's quickly jump into something. And what I did, Stanley, like I mentioned before, was I went through the documents and I will run through the specific of that role so that we can all have an idea of what that role is all about. Okay. Number one, it's going to be an IT audit role. Naturally, you're going to be involved in interviewing stakeholders, gathering of documentation evidences, writing reports, and summarization of those reports. The beautiful thing, ladies and gentlemen, if you're on this call, I want to just make you so happy, honestly, is unlike in the past, that, one of the biggest challenge of audit, I'll tell you for sure, is reporting. You have all of these issues. You're trying to put reporting in a concrete way that would reflect your knowledge of what the issues are. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the world of AI. Now, I'm not saying do all your outsource all your work to AI. I'm saying now you can remodify the language. As a matter of fact, if you have a sample report of what your organization is familiar with, of course, change and remove confidential information, but slam it into AI and kind of enhance it to come up the way your organization is used to writing report. So if I have findings, if I have reports, if I have to make observation, yes, I have my thoughts, but the beautiful thing now is that I can make my thoughts align to my leadership thought. So it means use my thoughts, slam it into your own verbiage style, and it will make me look good. So it's unreal right now. The opportunity is there. So I'm not worried as much as before that, okay, would we be good in terms of report writing? I think most of us will be fine. So just want to sneak in that. The other thing I see is that communicate audit results. That's the third bullet point. Identify issues and document the recommendation. So let me quickly recap for those of us on this call. Stanley, typically one of the strong points for us as IT auditors is primarily controls. So I need us to be able to talk about the kind of controls you've worked on. So typical controls, logical access, change management, IT operations or computer operations, right? So under logical access, we can talk about the new user testing, terminated user testing, transfer user testing, um, and segregation of duties, general system parameter settings. Those are big ones, right? Privilege access review. Then for change management, we can get into, of course, changes within application, database, operating system, network to ensure those changes go through the normal authorization, approval, proper segregation of duties. Then are the changes monitored in general? Those are another big one. Then, of course, we get into IT operations, that is backup and recovery testing, job scheduling, batch processing, then problem and incident management in general. Those will be some other ones we can highlight. Now, you said cloud. So I think it's a smart idea to kind of just talk a little bit about your knowledge of auditing a cloud platform. Now, the controls will be the same thing, but in the world of AWS, for example, we have AWS Identity Access Management Portal also. We have within AWS the server instance called EC2. We have AWS, their bucket or their database storage S3. Now, within every one of those, our controls are still applicable. If there are changes made, how do we make those changes within the database in S3? Then we have key management rotation. How do we rotate those keys for security purpose? So, in terms of audit, just do a quick high level diligence in understanding what are the things required in general to be successful in auditing those newer technology, because somebody wants to know. Gone are the days is strictly just talking about application database. Now we are thinking of, okay, robotics, AI, like you said. We are thinking about Internet of Things. We are thinking about 5G within your environment. Then, of course, the cloud. Now, most people now, they just don't use cloud. They also use multi-cloud platform. So they are combining Azure, Google Cloud, AWS, and potentially even Oracle Cloud infrastructure. So a lot of people are using multiple cloud solutions. So your question is that do we have a strategy in place to understand the key risk in terms of cloud solutions? So let me finalize this, Stanley. Let me just quickly ask you, and I muted you because of the noise, but let me quickly ask you, if I ask you and say, can you walk me through your knowledge of auditing the cloud? Just for example, give me some thought process of what you would say. Let's go.
Sure. For cloud, one of the things that my knowledge in cloud will be more of the access control. So, like you mentioned, identity access management, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Which users have elevated access to be able to go into the cloud environment and make changes in the production environment? Do they
Okay.
have a user access process in place? Or, sorry, user access review process in place. So, like those who have privileged users or elevated access, how often do they perform access review for those
Okay. Excellent.
privileged
Excellent.
IDs? And
Okay.
do they have some type of monitoring uh,
Monitoring.
them in place that, like an audit tray within the
Okay.
cloud? I think AWS does have an audit tray or cloud watch, and you
Cloud
can also
watch.
look at that. Yeah, who have those accesses and how if the assets are given based on a business reasoning, just for a short period of time, and
Yeah.
they still have the access after like 6 months. Why is their access still not still active, or why is the access not taken away? So those are
Got it. I
some
like
of
it.
the control testing will be detailed cloud environment.
Got it. Got it. And let me just mute because of the noise. So, ladies and gentlemen, I love that point. He mentioned, of course, access control within the cloud. That's a big deal, right? Meaning, how do people grant access or revoke access or change access within the cloud? So, it's a big deal. The second thing he mentioned was the audit trail. How can we track people making changes in the cloud? In AWS, we have one called CloudWatch. So we can see the log of people making changes in the cloud. So that's a big one too. Then, of course, changes. If you are making changes, there should be a way we can also have the right change management process even in the cloud. So one beautiful thing is that, irrespective of the solution, whether it's an emerging technology like 5G, AWS, cloud, Internet of Things, the controls are going to be fundamentally the same controls, really, from a risk point of view. Now, the nuances of the technology might be slightly different, but the controls will be the same thing. So, but those are the key things. So let me see. We always do this, Stanley's. I guess we're starting now. At the end of the day, I want people to just give a comment. What do you all think? What do you think? Should we hire Stanley, or we should just tell him, "Hey, Stanley, man, go do some extra work before your interview"? Of course, we want everybody to go do extra work before their interview, but
I do have something to say after that. So, but let's go
okay.
ahead with
All
the
right. So, folks, if you guys just give us the type and say, hey, Stanley, you got this. And I know people are being respectful. Probably will be doing poll or whatever, but we just want to give him a live feedback too. I mean, it's a safe space for us. We try to prepare our team and just give them valuable feedback. Um, and like I said, we can't go wrong with preparation. Okay. So I recommend every one of our folks, if you have interview coming up, try and get on our schedule. Typically, we try to do like a 48 hours, preferably before the interview, and see how we can slot you in a little bit and talk a little bit about the role. And more importantly, to help you maximize yourself and enhance your confidence. All right, Stanley, over to you before we bounce. Thank you. Oh, I like that. A lot of people are hiring you, Stanley. Good. Go ahead,
Oh,
Stanley.
thank you very much. I can see their comments, so I don't know what they're saying about me. But
Yeah.
what I wanted to say, I received your feedback when you asked me at the beginning to just give you a high level overview of
Yeah.
myself. So I didn't really delve into the different ITGCs like the change management, the IT operations, the logical access. In the way I do an interview, I don't delve into that until they start asking. But like you said, it's always better to cover those areas to kind of like broaden your, instead of them asking you these questions, by the time you
Yeah.
cover those areas, they'll be like, oh, my next question, you've already covered it. So I received that feedback very well.
That's
Thank you very
great. I mean, yeah, I mean, and Stanley, I personally think you know what you're talking about, and everybody on this call, listen, no matter how smart you are, even if it's a role you currently are performing in, it's smart to always prepare. And don't take my words. Think about our political leaders; they have access to the best psychologists, data in the world. There's a reason everybody rehearses before a debate or a public speech. There's a reason people use teleprompter, right? Because there's power in preparation. So even though you are experienced, you think you know what you're doing, it's always smart to kind of put yourself out there, interview to give you more confidence and flow. I can probably, a few of our other folks can see it from different perspective. I will give you feedback. And as always, just go and shine and maximize life, folks. Thank you so much. I like somebody said his response was on point. I love it too. Stanley, I think you did a great job. Let me see somebody else. Stanley is good. His role on SOX project. I think so too. Okay, one more
Thank you
thing.
very
Somebody
much.
said, so I like this. Somebody said he should remember to smile. so, Stanley, so,
Okay, thank you. I
so
will.
Stanley, try and remember to smile. All right,
I'm trying
great
to
job.
keep calm here because I'm in a public place. So,
Okay, excellent job. All right, let's give him a round of applause, people. Excellent job.
thank you very much. Thank you, guys.
All right. All right. Thank you so much for hanging out, everybody. And good luck, everybody. Thank you for hanging out. We'll see you soon. Thank you, everybody.